So I was scrolling on here and saw this clip. You guys gotta check it out.
Why is the government lying to us about history? There's a civilization as recent as 100 years ago that was omitted from the history books called the Tartarian Empire, and it was technologically far superior. They were able to convert atmospheric pressure into electricity. Tartaria was a country with its own government, its own flag, and its own place on the map. Its territory was huge, covering over 3 million square miles, and if you look back far enough, the country exists on maps predating the 19th century. The Great Wall of China, which is located on China's northern border, is believed to have been built by the Tartarians, although history would say otherwise.
And the Tartarian Empire is some of the best evidence that we have of the Great Reset or the Mud Flood. Notice too in this picture how everything seems to be wiped out, totally destroyed, except this crazy, super high-tech building in the background. The theory goes, a lot of these old buildings we see all over the world weren't actually built in the time frames we were told they were built in. They're actually from a much earlier, much more advanced civilization. And a lot of the old pictures we see help support this theory. Like these people down here that are on horses and buggies, and there's not very many of them, but they have this massive, super advanced looking building. And a lot of times there's nothing around these buildings and everything looks like it was totally destroyed. Almost like the people in the pictures just got here and now they're gonna start rebuilding the city. And we see lots of pictures like this too of buildings that look like they were buried in mud, and doorways that look like they were buried under the cement. And a lot of things they're telling us from this time frame don't make any sense. Like this amazing building that was only up for 50 years before being taken down. Why would you take the time and money to build something so beautiful in 1890 only to rip it down in 1955? Literally makes no sense. And a lot of times too, there's not photos of these buildings being built, only worked on. We see here it looks like an old destroyed building. And we see here after it was remodeled. And again, where are all the people? And apparently too, the population of people was so small, they had to have children work in factories. Where were all the adults to do these jobs and to work with this equipment? And to be clear too, where did all these orphan kids even come from? In this time period that these things were being built, supposedly, there was 250,000 children without parents. The timeline they're giving us on these buildings too doesn't add up at all, like this castle in Utah. Supposedly this building was built in 1894, but this is how people in Utah were living in 1894. So you expect me to believe these people had time to build literal castles with nothing more than a horse and buggy? So these people with no cars had time to build those buildings. So they were so busy that kids had to work in factories? So tell me what you guys think about this in the comments. And if you have any questions about the mud flood or Tartaria, let me know. And if you like this video, make sure to hit follow. Peace.